Before Crocs were cool, they were cringe. You know what we're talking about. Rubbery, round, hole-filled clogs that looked like gardening shoes from another planet. People made fun of them, relentlessly. And yet, here we are. Crocs are now worn by Justin Bieber, Post Malone, Bad Bunny high-fashion runways, TikTok influencers, and yes, still nurses and gardeners. How did we go from those are hideous to I need a pair? This is the story of how Crocs, one of the most mocked shoes of the early 2000s, made a fashion comeback nobody saw coming. Let's take a walk. The year is 2002. Three friends, Scott Siemens, Lyndon Hansen, and George Bodecker, are boating off the coast of Florida. They're wearing foam clog-like shoes made by a Canadian company. Super comfy, slip-resistant, lightweight. They realize these weird shoes are kind of genius, so they buy the rights and start their own brand. The name, Crocs, short for crocodile. Amphibious, tough, and oddly lovable. The original Croc was designed for boating and outdoor use. It was functional, affordable, durable, unmistakable. The material? Crosslite, a closed-cell resin that made the shoe soft, buoyant, and bacteria-resistant. It didn't stretch, it didn't stink, it molded to your foot. Function? Off the charts. Fashion? A. But that didn't stop people from buying them. By 2005, Crocs were selling out at boat shows, hospital conventions, and sporting goods stores. Then came the big leagues. Crocs went public in 2006. They raised over $200 million. It was one of the largest footwear IPOs in US history. Suddenly, you saw them everywhere. School hallways, college campuses, airport terminals. It was like the shoe equivalent of comfort food. Doctors wore them during surgery. Teachers wore them while standing all day, and kids loved them because they were fun, bright, easy to slip on. But just as fast as they exploded, the backlash began. Let's be honest, the hate was loud and a little brutal. Crocs were called the ugliest shoes ever made. They made worst-dressed lists. Fashion editors rolled their eyes. Even Time magazine ranked them among the 50 worst inventions of all time. The jokes were everywhere. Late-night shows, internet memes, even sitcom punchlines. But here's the twist. Crocs didn't flinch. Because their core audience was loyal. Nurses working 12-hour shifts. Restaurant staff moving between hot kitchens and wet floors. Parents chasing toddlers. Camp counselors hiking through muddy trails. Gardeners digging and weeding for hours. They didn't care about style points. They cared about comfort. Crocs didn't market luxury. They marketed utility. And that gave them staying power. Still, by 2010, the hype had cooled. Sales were dipping. The irony wore thin. Crocs tried to reinvent themselves. They launched boots, sneakers, even high heels. Spoiler, they didn't catch on. The brand was adrift. Retailers reduced shelf space. Investors lost interest. Stock plummeted. Executives rotated. Headlines predicted the brand's slow death. In 2014, Crocs even shut down manufacturing facilities and laid off hundreds of workers. Things were bleak, but something was simmering under the surface. Something unexpected. A new generation, raised on internet irony and meme culture, began to look at Crocs differently. A quiet but bold decision changes everything. Crocs pivots hard. They stop trying to fix the brand. Instead, they embrace it. The first move, a collaboration. Post Malone x Crocs. Not a safe choice. Not a classic celebrity endorsement. But the fit was perfect. Post Malone was weird. He was sincere. He didn't care what people thought, and neither did Crocs. The limited edition drop sold out in minutes. The resale market exploded. Then came more. Justin Bieber, Bad Bunny, Balenciaga. Yes, Balenciaga. The haute couture brand known for turning absurdity into art. They made platform Crocs, stiletto Crocs, $850 designer Crocs. And instead of being mocked, they were celebrated. Fashion influencers styled them with blazers. Streetwear fans paired them with cargos. TikTokers turned them into trends. And in the age of meme culture, this was marketing gold. Crocs weren't just shoes, they were statements. I'm comfy, confident, and I don't care what you think. They weren't trying to be cool. They were cool because they didn't try. Crocs didn't rebrand, they leaned in, and that made all the difference. Then came 2020. The pandemic hits. Comfort becomes king. People are working from home. Loungewear booms. Slippers, sweatpants, and soft clothes dominate. Enter Crocs. They're affordable, wipeable, washable, functional. You could wear them indoors, outdoors, in the garden, in the garage, on Zoom calls. They were a perfect pandemic purchase. Sales soared. Crocs leaned into the moment. They released health worker-themed designs, gave discounts to frontline staff, and made their messaging all about self-care and comfort. And Crocs didn't stop at comfort. They went global. In Korea, they were styled with techwear. In Japan, they got the Harajuku treatment. In Brazil, they showed up on runways during Sao Paulo Fashion Week. In Europe, they became ironic fashion statements at summer festivals. The brand leaned into localization, different colors, styles, marketing per country. They also pushed deeper into collabs. KFC with fried chicken drumstick charms. Grateful Dead, tie-dye classics. Hidden Valley Ranch, yes, dressin' themed. Lightning McQueen, Crocs for kids. Minecraft, Peanuts, Shrek, and Barbie-themed clogs. They even released Crocs for dogs. No, seriously, tiny Crocs for dogs. And they worked with Jibbitz, the shoe charms, to create personalization as performance art. From anime to astrology to LGBTQ plus pride charms, Jibbitz let people show who they were. Crocs didn't just sell footwear. They sold personality, identity, expression, and all of it made for the internet, Jibbitz hauls, custom Crocs tours, TikTok transformation videos. Crocs became viral content. So what's the legacy of Crocs? It's more than a comeback story. It's a cultural shift. Crocs redefined what it meant to be stylish. They proved that comfort could be cool, that utility could be expressive. They paved the way for the rise of ugly fashion, the dad shoe renaissance, the blend of fashion and function. They reminded the world that style isn't about fitting in. It's about standing out. Crocs also taught brands a modern lesson. Listen to your fans. Let them guide you. Let them meme you. Let them own the story. The virality didn't come from glossy ads or influencer placements. It came from fans taking ownership, creating Crocs memes, doing Crocs fit checks, posting Crocs glow-ups, debating charms in Facebook groups. And the company didn't resist it. They embraced it, amplified it, had fun with it. They used nostalgia, humor, and authenticity, all pillars of modern brand storytelling. Crocs' legacy is a playbook. Know what makes you unique. Embrace your cringe. Empower your community. Collaborate outside the box. Own the narrative. And that's exactly what Crocs did. From dismissed to desired, from ironic to iconic. Crocs became the unlikely poster child for Gen Z's favorite fashion value, self-expression above all. So, what made Crocs go viral? It wasn't just the foam or the shape or the price. It was the attitude. Crocs showed the world you don't need to chase trends. You can create them. By being bold, by being real, by giving people the freedom to be themselves. And that freedom is powerful. Crocs made ugly cool. Again, they turned comfort into flex. They let weird win. And in doing so, they turned a foam clog into a global cultural phenomenon. They were mocked, memed, mocked again. But they never flinched. Crocs didn't try to fit into fashion. They made fashion fit around them. And that's what made them viral. And that's the story of Crocs. From hospital halls to haute couture. From meme to mainstream. From cringe to trend. Next time on What Made It Viral, we're diving into wireless earbuds. How AirPods became the world's most stylish, invisible flex. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Because we're just getting started. There's plenty more virality to unpack.